can I ask what the cameras and everything are for?
Yeah, we're just documenting our trip.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any issue with taking video inside the building?
Well, if you're videoing people, you have to have their permission.
You have to have people's permission to video?
To video them, yeah. I mean...
Is that a...
I don't want to be videoed.
Is that a Montana law, or is that just a building policy, or what's the...
No, I'm not sure, but I would prefer not to be videoed. If you wouldn't mind turning that off, that'd be great. Okay, thank you. Bye. So my boss is going to come out and chat with you guys.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
As long as the policy doesn't violate the law.
Yes.
Or the Constitution.
Right.
Right, okay. How we doing? Good, how we doing, guys? Good. Good. How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press, and we are coming to you today from Helena, Montana. Welcome to Montana. We are at the city/county building today, and we're going to check out what's going on here. There are some folks running a petition for a recall, 2020 recall, and we'll go check them out and see how they're doing today. But we're just basically going to take a walk around and find out if the folks here at the city-county building in Helena, Montana honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas and public places. As usual, I'm out with Watching the Watchman today, and let's take a look around. Oh, and before I get 50 questions in the comments, I am exercising my Second Amendment right as well today. So we won't be going inside the building. We'll be hanging around out on the perimeter, but there's plenty of action going on here, so we'll see how it goes. Stand by. Got a time and temperature check-in for you. Today is Thursday, August 27th. It is 1:48 in the afternoon and 70 degrees. Absolutely beautiful and sunny here in Helena, Montana. How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Anybody interested in telling us what's going on and what you guys are doing out here?
He's the best voice.
Okay.
I can just tell you a little bit about
Sure, whatever you're willing to tell us.
You're not rolling right now, right?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the authorized spokesperson for the recall.
Well, I don't want you to go anywhere you shouldn't go, but if you could just give us maybe like a general overview of what the situation is.
Well,
We're not from Montana, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Colorado.
Hi, Colorado.
And my name's Jason, by the way. This is my son, Ben.
Nice to meet you. Hey, Ben. Hey, Jason.
Pleasure to meet you.
We just hired a city manager from Colorado.
That's not my fault.
Well, what this is a recall for a mayor and 2 commissioners.
Okay.
Specifically for violations of the Montana Constitution, right to know and right to participate. So, what the recall is about is in March they on the hiring of the last city manager.
Okay.
It was an interim city manager. Not enough notice was given for the public to participate, and even a couple of the commissioners weren't really involved in the process of selecting the interim city manager that we got.
Okay.
So specifically, it's a lot of numbers and things like that. Article 2, Section 8 and 9 of the Montana Constitution.
Okay.
So that's kind of what it's about.
All right, good.
We need to get 4,300 signatures, which is 20% of the population of Helena, and we're struggling.
How many signatures do you have so far, approximately?
I'm guessing 1,500.
Okay. Well,
we have
third of the way.
September 22nd.
Okay.
So if you have any Montanans that are actually out there listening to this, now's the time to come sign the petition.
Hey, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for doing your wonderful
No, and thank you guys for being out here as well. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
I wonder what these folks are, we got here a little late. You had the truck pulling out of here with the destroying all the paperwork.
Yeah,
I wonder what goes in there. I was hoping to get a little glance at that. All right, guys, so we're just going to take a quick look around the property here, see what's going on, and check the rest of the building out, so stick with us. Always like to take a moment and recognize Old Glory waving in the breeze, as she should. And let's see what's up here. It's a beautiful building. So no entrance. Be able to get you a little better look at the neighborhood from the sidewalk out here on the street. Looks like we have a hell of a police vehicle going by here. And let's get a look at the entrance. I don't see any Second Amendment issue signs, do you? I don't see any signs that say anything. Let's see what we can see. Wow, it's dark. Now let's take a good look at the signs here. Yeah, so let's go find out if there's any medical exemptions to the mask situation. That's what I'm interested in knowing. Yes, hi, how are you? I saw your sign to come over, so I wanted to ask you, is there, because we're from Colorado, I'm not from Montana, are there any medical exemptions in the order, in the mask order? Or do you have a copy of the mask order that I might be able to take a look at?
I can certainly pull it up from the governor's website.
If you, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you could, yeah, because just love to know what the specifics of it says.
But in this building,
I'll be upstairs if you need anything.
you guys are required to wear a mask unless you do have a medical condition.
Okay. Which I actually do. I know I'm exempt in Colorado, but I'm just, the first time we've ever been in Montana. It's literally our first day here.
Okay. And can I ask what the cameras and everything are for?
Yeah, we're just documenting our trip.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any issue with taking video inside the building?
Well, if you're videoing people, you have to have their permission.
You have to have people's permission to video?
To video them, yeah. I mean...
Is that a...
I don't want to be videoed.
Is that a Montana law, or is that just a building policy, or what's the...
No, I'm not sure, but I would prefer not to be videoed. If you wouldn't mind turning that off, that'd be great.
Well, but this is, I document what I do. If there's, I mean, if there's a law or a policy you could show me, I'd be happy to turn it off. But
Okay.
if it's just a request, I generally don't turn my camera off for that. Very interested in following the rules, though.
Hey, are you in the building by chance? Okay. There's just a couple gentlemen here that would like to know about the governor's mask directive, but they're filming, and I would prefer not to be filmed, but he won't turn his camera off for me. So I don't know. I know that there was a gentleman in here filming over by motor vehicle, and people were complaining, and so Paulette went over to discuss that situation. So I don't know what the mandate was, or if there is one. Yep. Yeah, yes. All of that, yeah. Well, if I don't want to be filmed, do I not have a choice on that? Well, they won't turn their cameras off. I've asked them. And they're standing right
Well, no, that's not true. I said I would turn it off if there's a law that in place that requires me to.
Not that there's a law, but I guess I don't have a choice whether or not I can, you know, I mean, I can't leave my office, so he's going to sit here with a camera on me? I mean...
And I'm not looking to linger either. I'm here to ask you a specific question at the information desk. And when I get my answer, I'm on my way.
And I've got the mask directive from UPHHS, the governor's mask directive. I printed it off. I'm going to give them a copy right now.
Thank you so much.
There's that. And you said that you have a medical condition?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a medical condition,
Yep.
sir?
He's my son.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Bye. So my boss is going to come out and chat with you guys.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
You know what I'll do? Just to, can you let him know I'll be standing right outside the door, just so that way we're not
Sure.
creating any disturbances or
That'd
anything?
be great.
Okay, great. And what is his name?
His name's Scott Burke, and then his boss is Troy Sampson, and they should be coming out from that way.
All right, perfect. Very good. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
How are we doing, gentlemen? I was just about to go outside and wait for you.
Okay.
So, walked up. We're from Colorado, by the way, so let me start with that. My name is Jason. This is my son, Ben. First time we've ever been to Montana or Helena. We got in last night and wanted to come in and check out the municipal building here. And I saw the signs about the mask. Now in Colorado, I fall under a medical exemption for the mask. So my question when I went to the information desk was, are there medical exemptions here in Montana? The young lady wasn't sure, so I asked her if I could see a copy of the executive order, which she was nice enough to print off for me. And then had an issue with me filming. So the filming thing, my response was, if there's a law that you would like to show me that, or something that prohibits filming inside the building, I'd be happy to look at that. And if that's the case, we'll take it from there. But if there's not, I mean, I'm out documenting a trip, and this is a public building and public space, and we're certainly not.
I'll tell you one thing. You cannot have firearms in here.
Okay, and I did, you know what, I checked all the signs on all the doors and didn't see anything about it, so I went right to the information booth to ask questions.
Okay. So are you filming now?
I am, yeah.
So I mean,
Do you guys want to continue the conversation out in the hall so I'm not in the building with my firearm?
I would prefer you, yeah, let's
Let's go outside, that's fine. Yeah. And I am licensed in Colorado, just so you know. I know it does make a difference, but... So, what is the issue with filming?
Well, you're filming a public employee, and if they don't want to be filmed, then that's their right.
If they don't want to be filmed, then that's their right.
It's actually not their right.
Well, I don't
It's not, rights are specific things, feelings or something else, so...
common courtesy.
Common courtesy is different than a right, though. Right. That I understand. If you say to me, listen, it's common courtesy, she's asking you not to, that I could work with you on. But if you're telling me it's a right of hers not to be filmed, I'm going to respond and tell you that that's inaccurate.
I'm just saying she has a right to say she
Oh, yeah,
doesn't want
yeah.
to be filmed.
Oh, absolutely.
And you should oblige that.
Well, I mean, you know.
She's here to do a job. She doesn't have a choice. She's, you know, she's sitting here today doing her job. And if she doesn't want to be filmed doing her job.
Well, A is it's a publicly accessible area of a public building that the taxpayers pay for, right? So it's publicly accessible.
Sure.
And the way the law works is as long as I'm standing somewhere I'm legally allowed to be, I'm allowed to record whatever my eyes can see. And she is a public employee who is working in the public in that capacity.
Okay.
And that's, so as far as the law is concerned, there is no law saying I can't film.
Okay.
Now, if we want to get into if I'm a nice guy and I want to put the camera away, I have no interest in standing there recording her. I just wanted to get the information I was looking for.
Sure.
I document these things because a lot of times people can say things happen that didn't happen. Right. You know, this is an objective witness that tells the truth. So we just keep the cameras rolling and not looking to cause any disturbances, not looking to give anybody a hard time, cause any problems.
Sure.
And that's why if you look on your security cameras, I'm sure you have, I went to every one of these doors around the side of the building, checked all the signage on the building. Nothing says anything about Second Amendment, firearms, anything to do with that, so I appreciate you informing me of that, but maybe there should be a sign up on the door. I think it would be...
Just for 1 second.
Sure. Yeah, the officers are looking for you. I would suggest humbly, you know, that maybe somebody puts a sign up on the door that just says no firearms allowed as per state code, whatever it is.
We'll work with our law enforcement, obviously.
But I think you would agree that's probably a good idea, right? Because if I would have seen that sign, I wouldn't have come in. You could have avoided the whole problem.
Yeah,
I'm not. My crystal ball broke years ago. I don't.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And I personally don't have a problem with it. Scott is the building manager, so I think he maybe will be checking to make sure what he's saying is correct.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you too. So, is there actually a law that prevents people from going into public buildings with a firearm?
Even I would have to check on
Okay.
that, honestly. I know at the police station they don't allow it. It's big sign.
So, and I'm really trying to be very respectful and talking to you like man to man here, but so I'm glad I showed up today because I think I've exposed a little potential issue for you guys that maybe this situation will inspire you to resolve by just putting a sign up on the door, if it's a statute and if it's a code.
Right.
People's feelings, you know, I mean, if I govern myself and my actions and what I do based on people's feelings, I wouldn't be able to leave my house. You know, not everybody likes what I do. I don't like what everybody else does. So I think as long as you're not victimizing somebody else and you're not creating a disturbance or any type of that thing like that, you know, then, you know, we should all be left to do what we want to do unless there's a specific state statute or law that contradicts that, and then we address that.
Sure.
No, then you get into whether or not the law is constitutional or not, but those are battles you fight in court, not here in the hallway of the building. Right. So, yeah.
But did you guys get what you needed?
Well, I got the copy of the governor's order, so I'm going to look at that. I don't know if there's, my question was, is there an exemption for the mask, medical exemption?
And now,
So I'll look through it and find out, yeah.
And we're actually, as employees, we're under the city manager's administrative order.
Okay.
Just a little bit more stringent. As our, you know, our building policy could be more stringent if we wanted it to just say, you know, you have to wear a mask. If that didn't happen.
As long as the policy doesn't violate the law.
Yes.
Or the Constitution.
Right.
Right, okay. How we doing? Good, how we doing, guys?
Good.
Good.
So we are here by happenstance for an unrelated issue.
Okay.
We had a call of a person down here, down the block, a female,
Okay.
in a bright pink shirt.
Okay.
That might have been filming a building down there and had open carry.
Okay.
Do you know if she's with you folks?
Well, let me just ask you, is there an issue with filming a building out on a public sidewalk and open carry?
No.
Okay. So
But
then,
there is potentially an issue with an open carry in the city limits of Helena, Montana.
there is.
There could
Well,
be, yes.
So is there or there's not? I don't know. I'm from Colorado. That's why I came in to ask questions.
And that's why we're not excited right now.
Okay.
You cannot, per city ordinance, number one, have a loaded firearm in the city limits.
Within the city limits.
In the city limits.
You can't have a loaded firearm, even concealed.
They'll conceal, yes.
Oh, you said loaded, so I'm just trying to be specific, yeah.
Correct. You also can't have a weapon inside a government building.
Okay, So I'll tell you the same thing I told these gentlemen, and you can look at all the security cameras to verify what I'm telling you. This is my son, by the way. My name's Jason. His name's Ben. What we did when we first got here was we actually stopped because they were having a little bit of a demonstration, not a demonstration, but the guys were outside with the recall 2020 situation, so we stopped to ask them what that was all about and what they were doing.
Sure.
And then before we came into the building, I went along the side of the building, went up to both of the doors out there and read all the signage on the doors, and then walked across the front of the building here, read all the signage, and nothing says anything about firearms.
Okay.
So my next step was to walk in, go directly to the information booth and ask. So this is where we are now. Because, and my suggestion to this job, sorry, what was your first name?
This is Troy.
Troy. So my suggestion to Troy was, if firearms are prohibited inside of this building, I think it would avoid a lot of issues and a lot of problems for you guys, and it would probably just be a smart idea anyway to just put a sign up on the door that says, as per state code, no firearms allowed in the building. How is somebody supposed to know that if they're...
So most Montana residents are kind of aware of it just because of a lot of firearms training in the state, as well as just knowledge of the laws of the state.
Okay.
Where there's been actually outlined in Montana code saying you cannot carry a firearm in any government building.
Well, like you said, Montana residents might know that. Some of them probably don't also, but people, this is the state capital. So you get a lot of tourists coming into this city, right? So how is anybody supposed to know that? So you just put a piece of paper here that says no firearms.
So can I be a responsible person?
Can I be brutally honest?
Well, no, because there are other states where you are allowed to go into government buildings with firearms. So how would I know that?
So can I be brutally honest with you?
Sure.
So I open carried a lot before I became Prop 2.
Okay.
I typically read the laws before I would go to another state. So I understand what you're saying where you don't necessarily have markings or anything, but it would be a really good idea for most tourists, and I encourage this to everybody I talk to as well,
okay,
to be aware of the firearm laws of the state before you go. So again, I understand your concerns that, yeah, it'd be great to have a posted sign, but at the same time, for our reasons, you can't have a gun in the government building.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, as a reasonable thinking person who's from out of state and doesn't understand the laws here, my mind tells me I look for signs outside. If I don't see anything, we've been to 27 states in the past year and a half. So a lot of states run things very differently.
Right.
So in my mind, I walk up here, I look for a sign, there is no sign. So my next step is to go to the information desk and ask, which is what I did. And then if there is an issue, somebody will say to me, no, you can't be in here with your firearm, and then I walk out the door.
Right.
So that's what my reasonable mind is telling me to do.
Like I said,
and that's not unreasonable.
Yeah.
Like I say, we're here by happenstance.
Okay.
To see if you might be with this female. So we can engage her and let her know. It's like, hey, just so you're aware, you can't have a loaded firearm.
Well, did you let her know?
We can't find her.
Oh, I got you.
With you guys.
I got you.
She might be with you.
So there's actually there's actually a law, a statute saying that within the city limits of Helena, you're not allowed to open carry a firearm.
It's a city ordinance.
It's a city ordinance. Okay,
Yeah.
but you can open carry.
And then it's a state law.
I'm sorry, you can concealed carry.
You can.
I have a license from Colorado, and we have reciprocity here, so
You can empty that gun.
Okay.
With all the bullets. And walk around like you are.
Well, I don't carry paperweights. No, I hear you. But so what I'm asking you is if I conceal it and I'm licensed to do that, then that's okay within the city limits.
Again, you would have to research to see if your concealed carry in the state of Colorado is accepted here.
I've done that research, and it absolutely is. 1,000%. So what I'm asking you is...
You still wouldn't be able to carry concealed in this building?
No, not in the building. I'm saying within the city...
I just want to make sure that works.
Absolutely, yes. So within the city limits, if I have reciprocity for Colorado and if I'm licensed, I could carry concealed within the city limits.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I'm asking. Yeah. And just before I forget, can I just get names and badge numbers so I know who I'm talking to, please?
Sir, I'm Sergeant Scout, 728.
Okay.
Officer Peterson, 747.
Okay.
Officer House, 729.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And no, and I'll definitely, anybody I know, I'll spread the word because I wasn't aware. So if I don't know something, I ask. So I went to information and asked. Yeah.
And we just kind of beat you till you get to that point.
Well, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad happenstance happened and you were here.
Right. So we just happened to be out with you before you even got the chance to do this.
I got you.
He was already at the information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did go up to the information desk. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if there are other folks with you, just let them know what you've learned. But I'm going to recommend if you keep going and continue to keep going to different states and cities,
right,
that you do the research and see. I can suspect that we're not the only state that you're not allowed to carry a firearm in a government building.
Absolutely correct, but I will tell you that you're the only state where that's the case that doesn't have it posted at the front door. You are the only state out of 27 states I've ever been to. And if you're the building manager, I don't understand.
Really not a notice on the door?
No, and I don't understand why you wouldn't want to put that up. That's a serious thing. I mean, you could wind up having to tackle somebody and arrest somebody because there was no sign on the door. Somebody could get shot, worst case scenario, because there's no sign on the door. Put the sign up.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming from.
Doesn't it make sense? I mean, you have no smoking, face mask required. If there's, bringing a gun, we're not talking about no chewing gum. I mean, we're talking about you can't bring a gun into the building. Put the sign on the door.
And
right?
I know exactly what you're saying. And honestly, probably happens 9 times out of 10 is it's Montana residents coming into this building.
Okay.
Because it's more about like getting your car registered. There's a lot of services in here.
Right.
And I'm sure somebody is walking here concealing and they don't even think about it.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, if somebody walks in concealed, you never know.
Right. So it's less often you see open carry. That's the only reason, like I said, that you probably got brought to attention. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
And I understand, like, again, you're allowed to carry a firearm openness, right?
Right.
But it's just, there's certain things. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, there's certain states we've gone to where you're not allowed to carry openly or concealed in a city park. So, I mean, different states and different municipalities and different cities and different towns, and it's all different.
What they define as concealed carry versus what other states define as concealed.
Well, so there you go. And my point is, I'd have to become an attorney to understand that 50 states wide. I mean, that's a little bit beyond my abilities. You know, so if I don't know, I ask. That's all. But I don't understand what the resistance is to putting up a sign, but I would suggest, and I'm speaking directly to you because you're the building manager, I would strongly suggest that I'm going to write a letter to the city manager letting him know this happened and make that suggestion and let them also know how professional you guys were and courteous, and I appreciate that. But I think that, you know, what do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So let's put the ounce of prevention on the door and nobody will walk in with a firearm. And then if they do, they're wantonly violating the law. And then that gives you the ability to do something about it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to arrest somebody or charge somebody with something when they honestly didn't know what was going on, right? I mean, that's, you know, you could, but you have discretion for that reason.
The other part of that is ignorance is not a defense either.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not. But, you know.
But yes, I understand.
You know what I'm saying. I think we're all on the same page, and nobody's trying to cause any problems.
I think we're all at the same conclusion here.
Yeah.
So for clarification, that lady's not with you guys?
I'm not really interested in answering any questions about anybody else other than myself and my son because he's standing with me. I'm not sure who I don't know.
Well, hypothetically, if
that
it
answer.
is, just please.
Oh, anybody that I know that is with me and anybody that I associate with, I will definitely let them know not to come in here with a firearm. But is there any chance you can tell me that you're going to put a sign up? Do you need to go speak to like the?
Oh, absolutely.
You will put a sign up?
Yeah.
Okay, is that going to happen today?
As soon as I find proper signage,
okay.
Look up exactly what needs to be on the door. Keep it.
Okay. Yeah. No, and I'm really not trying to give you a hard time, but you know what? The world operates in funny ways, and this incident here today might prevent something terrible from happening next week, and we'll never know that's the case. But I hope that's the case, and I hope you get the signage up, and I hope the next person that walks up with an interest in following the rules and following the laws has the law presented to them on the door and knows exactly what they are allowed to do and not allowed to do. I think that's 101, right? Yeah. Building management 101. Except that, you know, you have to draw the line, and then people know not to cross it. Because we're certainly not looking to break any laws. And if you ask the young lady behind the counter, the first thing I said to her was that we're very interested in following the rules. So that's why I'm here asking you what they are. But again, I sincerely thank you guys for your professionalism and your courtesy. And as far as masks are concerned, I'll read this, and if there's an exemption in here I fall under, then you would honor that?
Of course.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Well,
all this stuff is the health department.
I'm sure you're not happy about it either. It's a rhetorical statement. I don't expect you to answer in uniform. But yeah. I feel very badly for you guys that you have to wear those things all day. And I hope that sooner than later, this situation resolves itself so you can get back to breathing oxygen. Because that's what we all need to live, right? It's kind of important. But all right, guys, I thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I hope this winds up being a productive conversation. And, you know, we'll walk away and think about what's going on, and maybe it betters us all. I know I'm just out here to educate myself and educate my son, and that's the point of what we do.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too.
hot in that little hallway.
It is hot. All right, guys, I got the signage here. Signage. See, now I'm stuck on signs. I have the governor's order here, and I'm going to go through this. I'm going to read it all, figure out what the exemptions are, and if I fall under one of the exemptions here in Montana, we'll come back and check these folks out again and try to give you a look at the inside of the building. But, you know, I think we brought up a valid point, and they really, if they're not going to allow firearms inside the building, I think it's important that they let people know that that's the case, because as we said, that could turn into a mess. But you heard the whole conversation, and you know, you guys will let me know in the comments what you think. Let us know if there's anything we should have said, anything we shouldn't have said. We always value your comments and your input and your opinions, and look forward to hearing what you have to say. And on another note, if you enjoy these videos and you like what we do, we invite you to share, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, because that kind of thing helps our channels out tremendously and makes YouTube's algorithm very happy, and it doesn't cost you a penny, and you get to support what we do. So hopefully we're out here affecting a little change and doing things respectfully and honorably, and trying to have positive outcomes and positive conversations with the powers that be. And we hope you appreciate that, and we invite you to take up your cameras or whatever avenue you choose and get out and stand up for what you believe in, ask the questions, and have the conversations. Because if you're talking about it, you're doing something. But that's it. So we're going to wrap this one up, hop in the car, head down the road, and see what else we could find for you. We just got to Helena, and looks like a beautiful place to be, and we're going to check it out. We're going to try to come back here, so stay tuned. But for now, coming to you from the city/county building in Helena, Montana, watching the Watchmen, Amagansett Press. Catch you on the next one, guys. Out.